Hi everyone and good morning. So the webinar today is about low code for SAP Fiori. We're just going to wait 1 or 2 minutes more for everyone all the attendees to get into the session so we can get going. Today's session is exactly 30 minutes and it will take you as well, the session will be recorded and made available to you through an email link that you're going to receive after the session is over. So we're going to talk a little bit about SAP. We're going to talk about low code. We're going to showcase an actual set of some application templates that we've been working on that focus on specifically on the module of SAP. And then we're going to show you how we do low code for SAP Fiori and how does that translate to you in terms of mobility, in terms of progressive web applications, including chatbots, including workflows, including all of those things that you are already using. But we're going to give you a view of how can you centralize and put everything in one single point of access, a launchpad. So just going to wait a little bit more for everyone to come in, and then we're going to start.
Yes, thanks everyone for joining on this lovely Tuesday morning. Thanks for sharing your time.
Okay, Lloyd, I think we should start. I'm going to share my screen. So, good morning, everyone, again, and welcome to this webinar about low code for SAP Fiori. Today's team is me, Helder Gonçalves, and
Lloyd, yes, Lloyd Trevathan.
So we are today's team. We're going to present this webinar. We're going to start by introducing you to our product, the Neptune DX Platform, and we're not going to PowerPoint you too much. The Neptune DX Platform is composed of 2 different modules, the SAP Edition and the Open Edition. These 2 modules can work separately or together in order to provide you the ability to create applications by low code, applications with no code, and applications also with pro code. So there is no limit to this product. In terms of how does this product help you on your SAP journey, is that this product is certified by SAP for SAP HANA, NetWeaver Stack 701, S4HANA, and also certified for SAP Cloud Platform or Business Technology Platform, and it is rebranded now. Regardless of which, this can help you on your journey along to S4HANA by being able to run seamlessly across the different stacks, being SAP ECC, SAP S4HANA, or SAP Business Technology Platform. In terms of today's demo, so we are going to focus on the module of quality management in SAP, and we're going to showcase a couple of applications that we are going to publish in the store as part of our templates apps that cover this. But Lloyd, what do these applications do?
Yeah, so essentially you're looking at 2 key applications that we're going to show today. The quality concern Razor, which will allow you to capture information about a quality concern, and then the quality concern viewer as well, which is pretty self-explanatory. It allows you to view the details that you've captured using the Razor. And we've got most of the functionality, most of our cool bells and whistles within the concern Razor. So we've got voice to text, we've got a 3D model, we've got barcode scanning, and that's going to trigger workflows as well. The key thing to point out actually is that it's just one user base as well. So even when you're talking to SAP through this application, you're kind of using one user to access both the application and to speak with SAP.
Exactly, and this kind of bells and whistles that Lloyd was just mentioning can always be achieved by using application building blocks that you can download from our Neptune store, and then you can just run seamlessly through low code and embed this kind of functionalities into your SAP Fiori applications. These applications can run inside the SAP Fiori Launchpad and seamlessly with the SAP standard apps, and the standard apps can run also in our Launchpad. regardless of which, what you're producing here is Fiori apps through low code and no code. We're going to focus today is on the low code, but we're going to show you exactly how do we build these applications and how can you maintain these applications straight off the bat, and how you can easily concentrate all your business assets directly in one single point, being a launchpad. But how do we achieve this, and why this is different? Why Neptune DX Platform is different for the SAP world? So we mentioned that we have two modules, the SAP edition and the open edition. So in terms of architecture, what you have is that the SAP edition runs embedded into your NetWeaver stack, runs embedded into your SAP system. Seamlessly, you can make accessible to build Fiori applications on top of RESTful APIs. You can do it on top of SAP artifacts, so function modules, ABAP classes, etc. We can automate completely the generation of these REST APIs, which are extremely faster than the OData that you get out of the box from SAP, and there is no bottleneck to this REST APIs. So that's quite important, because that will reflect on the performance of the applications. Not only the way that we build the applications by low code drag and drop, but also because they are on top of very high performance artifacts. But we can integrate directly with SAP classes. No API, no OData needed. They are optional, and you can congregate everything into the same application if you want to. So that's the Neptune DX platform. The architecture that we're going to show you here today is the architecture of the DX platform. So what is the full DX platform? Is that we have now on this environment we're going to show you, we have our SAP edition installed on an ECC environment. We can have it on an S4 environment. It doesn't matter which support package level you are on. The same product can be installed using a Saint installation or a transport request into your NetWeaver stack. That will work seamlessly across any support package level. So you can start innovating today, regardless of where you stand on your journey to S4HANA. And that's quite important because you can build applications directly on top of your NetWeaver stack, no server, no extra resources needed. But you can also get the wider angle. For example, if you want to bring in a cloud-based product of SAP or non-SAP systems, you can concentrate everything into the same Launchpad by adding another runtime, the Open Edition. So the Open Edition connects to the SAP edition with OData or with the high-performance REST APIs powered by Neptune. All of this can then be taken over to a single point of access, one Launchpad, where you're going to have SAP edition applications, where you're going to have Open Edition applications, all of which are UI5 based applications built with drag and drop. The beauty of it is that you can maintain the SAP edition applications inside SAP, and you can use the same tool, the same look and feel, the same low code drag and drop designer to create applications on top of anything else. In terms of how does this look at the end, is that we are going to show you now the demo. We're going to actually show you the template applications, and then we're going to change these template applications. We're going to show you a simple process so that within the time that we have, you can see exactly how you can innovate, how you can build low-code applications at a pace that you never dreamt before. So Lloyd, take us there, please.
Wonderful. Okay, so here we are. We are looking at the Neptune Launchpad. This is part of our DXP solution. So this is the open edition. However, it is facilitating that connection straight with SAP. So the key applications that we're going to look at today are the Quality Concern Razor application and the Quality Concern Viewer. But before we jump in and actually kind of use the application, I just wanted to give you a quick look around the Launchpad. So from top to bottom, we've got some of our applications running within these role-based access control tiles. So I can see these because I'm logged in to my particular user, and you can show more or less depending on who's logged in. A little bit further down, we've got a few different types of dashboards and statistics. So this first one here is actually just a little application running within a tile, which is giving us some information about the data within the platform. Further down beyond this, we actually have some integration cards. These are pulling data in live and dynamically from SAP, and it can present it in these nice card formats straight on the Launchpad.
But can also bring data from any other systems, the SaaS factors, Ariba, Fieldglass, anything that is ACP stack, being cloud-based or on-premise based, being ECC or S4 based or anything else, but also could be Oracle, could be Microsoft, can be anything else. And on this Launchpad, you also have other things here, right, Lloyd?
Yes, indeed. So to demonstrate that third-party integration, I've pulled a full Power BI report and just embedded it straight onto the Launchpad. So this is fully interactive. I can change all the filters. I can bring out this side panel. And this is, again, generated dynamically and live as soon as I open up the Launchpad. So it's really easy to add in any kind of custom analytics on top of the platform if you desire. Okay, absolutely. So let's have a run through of the quality concern Razor so we can actually see kind of everything in action. So I've just opened that application and it's brought everything up here in full screen mode. One thing to note, however, is that everything that you build using the Neptune platform is fully responsive. So I can shrink right down to a mobile size and everything's going to automatically adjust and work great on mobile, tablet, or desktop. So as soon as I open the application, what it's done straight away is actually clocked in my GPS coordinates. So this is actually where I am right now. And this data is now going to be assigned to whatever else I input here. So this is an example of kind of situational data that you can capture, which is especially important if you're capturing issues about quality concerns, you know, where you are or what the weather is might be an important factor. So let's go ahead and say that I've detected this concern within zone 4. And now the form is going to automatically adjust and it's going to prompt me, okay, well, do you want to scan a part number? So this is where we can see one of our first features. We've got a barcode scanner built in. It's going to use my built-in camera on my laptop in this example. So I can actually scan this barcode. And what that will do as soon as it scans is it's going to check with SAP. It's going to say, I've got this part number. What's the information? And so that's going to pull it back and it's going to tell me that this is a gear of the bevel type, G10. And it's going to give me a few additional details about it here. So 12 teeth count, screw fit, and it's located in warehouse 2.
What's important about this is that in this case, we're using a application building block that was downloaded from the store that gives you the ability to seamlessly integrate on a web app or on a mobile app, and the device or the building block will know which device is on and will behave accordingly. So if you're on a mobile app on iOS or Android or Windows 10, it will know it's there. If you are on a laptop like Lloyd is now, it will then use the embedded camera. So it will know where it is, so it's smart. Also on the geofencing part, the situational data that Lloyd mentioned, it's also important for narrowing down the amount of data that you need to fetch. So all of this is that we are actually creating a simple 1, 2, 3, 4 approach to creating a to register, in this case, a quality concern. But the beauty of it is that this can plug in directly into your SAP system, seamlessly run directly in your system. So you can, in one go, you can raise a concern and automatically you can fetch data from any part of the business logic of your SAP system. And you can do that in very little time, right, Lloyd?
Yes. Yeah, spot on. Okay, cool. Let's skip to the next step, which is just inputting a few additional details. So this drop down here is actually pulling in a list of categories and defects from SAP. And depending on whatever I select in the first drop down, it will filter to only show the appropriate defects for the selected category within the next drop down. So here, let's just say that our gear is going to be broken. And this is, I've even set it up so it will actually show you the SAP codes just in case you're familiar with that terminology and you just want to double check what's going to be sent. So then we have a chance to input some additional information about this concern. So let's say that it's the teeth of our gear are broken, and that will be, I could say, all around, or perhaps the entire thing. And what you'll notice is as I am searching, or as I'm typing in here, the application is actually performing a fuzzy search on the concerns already within the system. So if there's any similar concerns, it will actually tell me here, and then I'll have the ability to load them up and either discard them, continue editing them, or kind of push them further on through the process. As well, this is where we can see an embedded 3D model. So it's really easy to embed particular 3D models. You can kind of pull in CAD designs here. There's a number of different 3D engines which you can use as well. So this just allows us to simulate and inspect the part itself just with its original design, if we so desire.
So with this, you can directly integrate with your content management solution that you already have in-house. If you have CAD 3D drawings, we have ability to generate and to embed that kind of visualization layer inside the in this case the quality concern, therefore inside applications. This is also an application building block that you can download from the store. But you can do more, right? What if I want to check documentation, Vlad?
Yes, so using the same kind of layout here, I can click this button and I can actually bring up a PDF for this particular item as well. So I've scanned it, it knows the product code, so I can pull up the correct bit of documentation. I can see, okay, well, what's it meant to look like? What's broken here, and what kind of documentation reference do I need to put in to show that I'm talking about the right part of equipment here? So let's just put in 2.1, for example. But that just shows you it's really easy to embed kind of PDFs, images. You can even embed SharePoint documentation right into the application. Cool. Now let's go to step 3. Now this is quite an interesting step. This allows you to automatically prioritize this particular concern that I'm raising, depending on all of these scores and bits of information I enter here. So every time I change my selection, so my impact score, how I'm going to fix the problem, the time it's going to take me, and the percentage of this impact, you'll see every adjustment I make is actually changing the overall score of this concern. And now I've set up a kind of distribution in the background, so depending on the score, it will then automatically depict whether it should be a low priority. If I increase some of these attributes, you'll see it goes to a medium priority, or if I push it all the way up, you'll see it actually goes to a high priority. So that can all be managed automatically and adjusted, and all those weightings and that distribution can be fine-tuned to be appropriate for any kind of use case.
Yeah, and also this algorithm that you're using in here, it's an algorithm that we also make available on app to configure, right? So you can configure this algorithm, or you can connect this to whatever algorithm repository you have, or create your own rules so that the impact assessment can be done, and you can raise the severity of the impact exactly the way that you have in terms of governance defined it. So
yeah, exactly. So on top of that, we can just a multi-select box here as well. So who's affected? I can select one or more of these particular people, so we can say that it's going to be the engineers and the project team that will be affected by this broken gear. So now I can enter some more details about this concern, and then instead of having to type everything in manually, it's the 21st century, I've just embedded voice to text. So Houston, we have a problem. Almost press cut off a bit too soon there, but yes, voice to text built straight in using the underlying browser's voice to text technology. So this works completely offline as well.
And also this works not only offline. So all of what you see here can be done running offline. Of course, in terms of getting that documentation, in terms of getting the 3D CAD drawing, that is a functionality that you need to pre-sync all of that, but you're never going to do that for all of your equipments. But we can define which functionalities are available when you are online and when you are offline. Also, this is seamless to you doing this on a mobile device, any mobile device. So true mobility can be achieved, and in the case of a mobile device, what you're doing now, which is uploading an image, you can do it straight from the camera of the mobile device on location, right?
Yes, indeed. So on a mobile, this would say, do you want to take a picture or upload from your camera roll? But on desktop, it's just asking me if I'd like to upload a file. So cool, that's completed this concern. I can hit submit. And if you notice in the top right of my screen, I'm actually getting a notification straight away. So I've set it up so that whoever is the manager within this system gets a notification every time a concern has been raised and is waiting for approval. And that can be seen within the inbox application here. So if I open it up, you'll see we've actually got 2 pending concerns. This is one I made yesterday with a piston, a broken piston. And this is the one that I've just made now. You can see that it's really easy to assign additional information as well to this concern within the workflow inbox. So here I can select
exactly. So
error.
what is important here to highlight? This is a template. You can change whatever you want. Whatever you, on those combo box that you have there, drop-down lists that you have, it's what you have configured in your ACP system. It's not, and that we're showing that because that's what we have configured on our ACP system. So if you want to add other type of data there, it's quite easy, and we're going to show you how you can change easily with low code this template. Also, the workflow inbox that you see here, it's a universal workflow inbox, so we can handle any kind of work items coming from ACP or non-ACP systems. So this plugs in directly to whatever system you want to fetch this workflow from. Yeah, Lloyd.
Indeed. Cool. So I've just approved that workflow, and now I can go into the concern viewer to have a look at it, or I've plugged in our own chatbot to actually be able to give me some information about the platform and the concerns within it. So I can ask it
This
how
is a chatbot that you have configured running on BTP, right? Running on ACP Business Technology Platform.
Indeed, yeah. It's really easy to train it and to set it up to talk to the platform and kind of tell you anything or perform any actions that you want. In this case, I can just say how many concerns are there, and it will tell me there's currently 5. We can check that by jumping in here, closing down the chatbot, and we can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yeah, the chatbot's correct today, which is good.
And what you have here is in fact a UI5 Fiori application built with no code, powered by Neptune. And we will just show you this, and then quickly we're going to the designer where we're going to make some changes to the application. So show you not only just the end result, but actually how do you get to this?
Yes.
And how easy
yeah.
is yeah?
Yeah, a no-code application is part of the whole flow, including a low-code application as well. So here I've just clicked on one of these concerns. So this one here, the power unit, which is has an incorrect operation. You can see that I can change some details about it. I can view the image that was uploaded. Here I've embedded another application which allows you to answer a range of questions about this concern. But the thing we're really interested in.
One thing about this is that what you see here is a application that has fragments from other applications. So for example, the step 1, it's a survey that is configured directly in SAP, and that here it just reflects what the survey is configured. So there's no hard-coded data in there. What's doing is that it's fetching the survey directly as it's configured for this type of concern. And that's basically the ability that you have here, is to really plug into what you have right now and make it into a application, into a UI5 Fiori application, but in a much more easy and straightforward way.
Yeah, spot on. So yeah, the thing we're most interested in here is actually pushing this concern data, the relevant parts of it at least, into SAP. So here I can select the final required attributes to actually raise a QN, and then with one click, it will pull all the relevant information from this concern. It will send it to SAP, and it will pull back the ID and then display that information here. So I can update this list, and you can see there's a brand new ID number associated with this particular concern. And that's now living within SAP as well. So our full SAP process is supported. Any analytics or further kind of downstream effects from having that QN raised within SAP can be managed and controlled from within the Neptune applications here.
And also you have all of those technical names there, but on an actual application, you're going to see not the technical names, but the labels that you are having. And in that case, we can pull the labels out of SAP as well directly. So Lloyd, how do we change this? How can we change these applications?
Good question. So let's start with changing the adaptive application that we were just looking at. If I hit update here,
this is a no-code tool set that you are able to change the applications without having to do any code. So just putting that into concern. So we don't do just low code, we do also no code. So on the no-code side, what can we do here? Let's say that I want to add a priority field, correct? You have that on your data set?
Yeah? Yes, I do indeed. So all I need to do is I've got my data set here on the left. I can drag and drop it into my application, and you see straight away we've got our priority column header. When I save, it's going to refresh, and it's actually showing at the moment the numbers associated with the priorities, but that doesn't make a lot of sense to show.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So how do we make interesting this?
Yeah, let's change the source value to a lookup, and this allows me to select a table. And here I've actually got a table set up already, which is my priority keyword mapping. And I can just say, okay, well, all it's doing here is mapping a number to a name. So 1 to high priority. So I can say, I want you to show the means field, and I want you to pass the priority number, and that's it. If I hit use and I hit save, then what we'll see actually is the priority number and the associated text. I can jump back into settings and press hide key value. And if I select that, then what that will do is only show us the relevant word for that priority number. I can even take this one step further, and I could change it from a text type to a status, and then I get even more settings here. But the one that I'm interested in is the state, and this allows me to change the color of the attribute. So I can actually point it at
according to what we call a rules engine. So this is another concept where you can create business rules engine that you can define inputs and outputs and outcomes. In this case, we're just based on the priority, we're going to assign a color. And based on that, the business rules engine has defined that the low is yellow, the medium is green. So this is no code. What about the low code? How can we change the low code?
Indeed, yes. So this is our concern razor that we saw a moment ago. If I jump into edit mode, let's add a building block into this application. So the easiest way to do it is simply to right click and open building blocks. And here we can see a list of all the building blocks within our particular system. I'm going to add this embedded feedback building block. So all I need to do is select it here, and that's going to import all the relevant components that I need. In this case, it's an API, it's a dialog box, and a button. I can leave the API in my resources. I'm going to move the dialog box into my application, and I'm going to move the button into my footer.
So what this does is that it's going to show up a feedback button there on the bottom, that when you click it, it will just pop up a dialog. You can enter a feedback, and that will then send the feedback to whatever system you have to collect the feedback. So if you just do this, the feedback has been sent, but how does it look like on the Launchpad? Can we just go to the Launchpad and show it how it's refreshing the application automatically? So just refreshing this, opening it again, and the feedback button is already there. If you think of this as a straightforward way for you to deploy updates to your applications, make it easier for in a governance manner to make innovation, to create and to sit IT and business together in the same room, and they can speak the same language. You can act and make changes to the applications right there, right then, sitting in a very agile way together with business. So what Neptune brings to the table is the ability for you to do this at your own terms. You do not require an extra server if you want to use the SAP edition. If you want to use the open edition, you can run this on any kind of hyperscaler, being Microsoft Azure, Google Cloud Platform, AWS. You can run it on-premise. You can even run it on the Neptune DX Cloud as a platform as a service, and you are able to do this kind of innovation in any way you want, even running on business technology platform. We're going to answer all the questions that we've been posting directly on the community, and we have no more time today, but I would like to thank Lloyd and thank all of you for being here. Please, if you have questions, address us directly. You're going to get an email with our contacts. Feel free to ping us, and we'll be happy to tell you more. Thank you so much, and thank you for today.
Yes, thank you, everyone. Have a good day.
Thank you.